How much ammunition do you guys have individually in Texas that's going to hold off the invasion?
I'm sorry?
I mean, how much ammunition do you guys, you gun owners, stored or sitting around on the coffee table? Is it enough?
No, we have a I will tell you, some folks and others have cabinets full of ammunition, and you don't have to just have little amounts. You can store it, with that kind of stuff, and people have chests full of that stuff. They don't just have a little bit laying around, because you to protect yourselves, and the state, that's why they encourage people to go to the gun range and stuff here legally, ethically, under the law, and follow the laws. I keep the law right on the back of my door, so when that door swings open, I know before it swings open, I'm looking at those laws. So that is important. But if you had a foreign invader, you would have every right to defend your property at all costs, and the government would allow you to do that, and I would be okay with doing that.
I'm just saying, when you guys do that, you make me think that you have and enough guns to fight off another army. Is that true?
I'm trying to say, because you are portraying America like a third world country. I'm from a third world country. I'm from Africa. You see, all these things can happen in a third world country. It can't happen in America. It's not possible. It's not
Brother,
possible.
we're a third world country now. I don't know if you heard that.
There's no amount of weapon you want to have in America as an individual topple the government. Maybe you watch too much American movies, that's why.
No, we're not talking about toppling the government. We're saying that there's enough ammunition here in Texas, three to four guns per person. If you're in a house and, each adult has 2 guns per person, that could work for what you're trying to defend, because you see what I'm saying? Because if the people around you know how to shoot, you're not shooting by yourself. You're shooting behind cover, and you're shooting to defend what you had. And you have the right to open fire on somebody, especially if it's more than one person. You get a machine gun. The state would allow you to purchase a machine gun in the threat of invasion. They would allow that kind of stuff. And there's a gun shop that would sell them to me. There you go. So you're good. Buy one. They're illegal.
Okay, any other gun owners on the stage? I will agree that you guys can hold off.
Absolutely, right here. What's your question?
My question is, how long do you think that you can hold off an invading force from another country?
An invading force from another
in fairness, if a foreign army was coming here, Texas is probably the last state they would go to. They would not.
They're going to go to a coastal state. They're not going to just go inland. They're going to go to a coastal state. But I will say
they're going to go Oregon, right? They ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to Florida or Texas. That's
no. Why? Possibly. Actually, I won't say no to Florida. Florida's a possibility because it's easily accessible.
Oregon.
Even though Texas is heavily armed, that doesn't mean that y'all can go to the range, but firing under duress is completely different. This is not.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I will say this too, and people got to know this, especially gun owners.
Yeah.
They're how to put this with being respectful. I would say 60 to 70% of the people that own guns have never actually discharged it into another person. Probably more, right? And there's a barrier that exists if you haven't done it before. In shooting a target, shooting things down range, and actually discharging that with the intent to end life into a human person. Most people hesitate in the moment of truth, and that leads to fucking death. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't care how.
Yeah, but that goes for police officers. There's plenty of police officers that have never had to fire.
No, I'm not just saying. I'm not trying to target anybody. I'm just saying in general. This is a fact for anybody that knows weaponry and have been around guns and have had to do what you need to do. I'll put it that way. Yeah. There is a barrier that most people can't break when it comes to actually shooting somebody. And I've had friends that were killed by their own gun because they pulled it and didn't finish the job. Like once you up that ante, you put it life or death on the line, because once you pull a gun, it is a life or death situation at that point, right? Mm-hmm. That is when rubber from each road, and you get to see who's who.
And you cannot shoot anybody in the back. If they're leaving the premises, you cannot shoot them in the back. If they're closing that gap and they're facing you, you absolutely have to close that gap and you have to shoot them. You cannot hesitate or anything like that kind of stuff. Because like my folks told me, get behind something. Don't open yourself up. Get skinny. Stay skinny and shoot. Don't open your body up, and you will have a lot better chance of living than trying to,
So to answer Lisa's question, no, Lisa.
Can I
The simple answer
can I say something?
is hell no.
Yeah,
Can I say something?
No.
that's it. Lisa's question. We was answering Lisa's question. Gemini said hell no, and I said no.
Can I say something?
That's a fact.
Somebody said, can they ask a question? Sure.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Holding the weapon is one thing. Knowing how to use it is another thing. Okay, I remember that was the raiding of is it Palestine or something, where Osama bin Laden was killed. And if you noticed, that was during the Obama regime. Special forces were sent there. They were not. That mission wasn't meant for anybody. It was meant for special people. Like in America, you have special agents that are trained to kill. Yeah. You might have the same weapon they have, but you don't have the same mindset they have. That is where it comes to when you have a weapon and you know how to use it and you have the mind to use it. That is another thing. You might hold a weapon and shoot someone, the person is half dead, and you'll be scared and might not want to shoot again. But there are people that are trained for it. That is where special people comes in.
No, I mean, I understand. I'm not saying that you should go out here and, act like, special forces, but when you're in your property, you know the layout of your land or your property. I mean, look, you have, like, one of my friends, he said, look, if I know that there are people trying to surround me, I got to get the high ground. Now I can pick you off in a tree in my yard. He was like, look, that, you know what I mean? And so he designed a little perch or whatever you want to call it. So if something happens, you get up there, so there are ways for you to defend your property against people who may try to invade what you're trying to do. Am I saying for everybody to do that? No, but you need to know how to shoot a gun, at least basic skills. We learned how to shoot a gun at the age of 12 out here in Texas. At least I did. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay, so breaking news, you gun owners. So no one's going to be coming over here anytime soon.
No.
Everyone, welcome to the 420 Lounge. And the title is Trump is the #1 president in the world because he's brokered, he's finally brokered a ceasefire to a war that he helped start. Now, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great?
Wow.
So I got breaking news from the best station in the world. I'm going to break this news to you, and that's Fox. It's the most accurate, it is the most concise, it is the most well-documented news station, I think, on the planet. Most qualified news reporters, just everything, you know what I mean? And all you guys should be getting your news from one source and one source only, and that is Fox News. And then next is Twitter. That's it. You can get your news from nowhere else. So I'm going to play this because I'm going to thumbs down. We're going to try to get my guest in here. She is back from Gaza, working or volunteering. She can give me the whole, I don't want to misquote her or misqualify her or do any of that. But she is a physician. She's actually specializing in peds. We are going to respect her in this room. She has to download this app, plus she has some duties that she needs to take care of in her home. So she'll be calling from the West Coast to all of us. And so it's still pretty sunny and bright out there. So I'm going to give her grace to get her family together because she's been working all day. So what we're going to do is going to go and listen to fabulous news. Trump announces Iran, Israel have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire. Your president has done it again. Okay? I know Mr. Wick. I'm sorry we can't bring it to you hot off the goddamn skillet. But some of us were working. Keep going up, Robert. And I heard it already. We've heard it already. Some people. Thank you. I need a soundboard. And I'm supposed to be getting a mixtape, but I'm not going to say anything. But we're going to listen to this, and we're going to get all the correct information from Fox. Before we do this, before I press play, does anybody else have any breaking news? Because this is about 4 to 5 minutes long. Anybody have any breaking news?
I do.
Before we play? Yes. Okay, Nine.
Yeah, okay. I got something for you. I know I heard Brian, actually, I don't want to put a name on it. I don't know who said this earlier. I heard a gentleman say earlier that either Iran or Israel had confirmed the ceasefire and that they're going to be compliant. But I just did my due diligence, and neither country has confirmed it at all. Their government has not spoke in confirmation. So this is merely Trump saying this, and there is no confirmation there at this moment.
Isn't that crazy? Because I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I haven't found any of these two countries saying a mumbling fucking word. Seems like they'd be out, especially Israel, because Netanyahu can't stop talking. So now that he got this deal, he must don't like it. He's not saying anything. And I thought Netanyahu said he wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to stop.
He was on his puppy. I thought I told you.
We
won't stop.
Here we go again. Something ain't right.
So we got a ceasefire between us and Iran, but that's just us.
Actually, I think that might have been CEO that said it was confirmed. I want to put that on Brian. I think that was CEO that said it.
Right. It was.
And he's still here, CEO. Why we can't find nothing on this ceasefire from Iran or from
CEO, you can't be acting like Trump. Trent. I'm sorry, Trent.
You did that on purpose.
breaking news. I have no proof.
CEO, could you do me a favor, sir, and just cite your source so I can be as enlightened as you on this topic?
I think he's still looking to.
He's still trying to find his own.
Hey, I ain't mad at him. Do we all want to go to war? You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not that we don't want to.
I wish I was wrong.
Know that it's factually based. Like, that's the one thing I like about this room is we cite sources, we have factually based conversations, and we correct each other when we're inaccurate with the details or the information that's being divulged. So I just want to be able to see the source and verify. That's all.
And my the 2 cents worth, I continue to repeat this. This mofo lies. And for me, take anything he says with a grain of salt. President or no president, he lies more than he breathes. So him announcing a ceasefire, what's that old Ronald Reagan saying? Trust but verify. And that's sad to say that I need another source besides what the president says to confirm what he says.
I like that, Brian, what you put in the chat, because there's actually that. I don't know if you know, but that was a real story that happened out here in Los Angeles, where a firefighter was setting all these fires and then showing up and getting awards.
Oh yeah, you read it? Yeah.
He was setting all the fires, and he was showing up and getting awards until they charged him like 63 counts of arson. I forget how many counts. It was so many fires he had set, bro. That's a real thing.
Okay, so I'm giving you guys a choice here. We can either hear this complete and total ceasefire agreement from your Vice President J.D. Vance, or we can get it from Brett Hume from Fox. Which do you have?
You know, Fox is the most credible news source. Even though they had to pay $750 million on lying about the election, they're very important.
Yeah, let's hear Vance. I can understand my enemy.
Are you sure? Because the other one is reporting. It's the same guy. Is what's his name? Brett, whatever his name is. He's doing both of them, but one has the reporter that's standing in Israel tonight, and the other one has J.D. Vaughn.
Michael said no, Vance. He's eating.
Okay, fine. So let's do this one. All right. The stage and the goo has spoken. Is Michael in the goo?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He's eating.
Tell Michael he can come here and eat on stage. All right, guys. Ping in your friends. I don't see our friends in the room. Ping in your friends. Before we get started, make sure you guys ping in some of your friends. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, let me start it then. Breaking news.
What happened with Iran in the Middle East, and some breaking news coming just now. Joining us this evening, Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President.
Oh, so it's the same one.
Just seconds ago, the President went to Truth Social and typed this. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total ceasefire is what he typed. What does that mean? How did it come about? What's the development?
Connected to Mr. Zimak.
The White House to come over here, so that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago. A week ago, Iran was very close to having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program. And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild.
I want to get to the obliterated part in just a minute, but I just want to read this fully so I get the context here. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point, the ceasefire for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. He seems confident that this is all coming together.
That's right.
And when you...
Hi, Mr. Woodiffer here. You know, I don't waste time, and I definitely don't waste money. I joined Start Engine as a strategic advisor and a shareholder and a paid spokesperson years ago because I...
And when you left the White House, were you thinking this was gelling here?
When I left the White House, I thought that we might be able to get it across the finish line before this broadcast, and it looks like the president has been able to do that. I mean, look, he's been working the phones constantly. Frankly, before the 12-day war started, but certainly over the past 12 days, the president's been extremely clear about America's national objective here. It is to create a world where Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon. We, of course, destroyed the nuclear program that they had, and the president told the entire team, we're going to work to make sure that they don't try to rebuild that nuclear capability in the future. And look, this is a great thing. For Israel, think about this. They've accomplished an important military objective. They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed the conventional missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think this is a new opportunity to actually pursue the path of peace. As I said yesterday, what the Iranians have showed through their support of terror networks, through their now failed effort to build a nuclear weapon, is that they're just not very good at war. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region.
Would you be surprised if Iran is sending out signals that it doesn't have a specific ceasefire plan? How would the communication have been with the Iranians to get this level of confidence to put out that detailed statement?
Well, one of the things I've learned, Brett, about the Iranians in the past, 4 or 5 months that I've been in this job is what they say publicly and privately can sometimes be very different. I think what the Iranians have shown very clearly is they don't want this war to go on for much longer. Their air defenses have been totally destroyed.
Don't eat breakfast until you learn about caloric bypass. Your breakfast is setting you up for the entire day to either gain weight or lose it. The term breakfast literally
totally destroyed. Their conventional missile program has been largely destroyed. And of course, their nuclear program has been obliterated, as I said before. So I think the Iranians are in a place where they don't want to keep on fighting. You saw the president, and I don't have the truth in front of me, but he talked about the next 6 hours finalizing the attacks. I mean, I think what he's talking about is right now, for the American people watching, it's dark over there. That's typically when the Israelis and the Iranians have been shooting at each other. I think there's some recognition that might continue for another few hours, and tomorrow really is a new day. The end of the 12-day war, the end of the Iranian nuclear program, and I really do believe the beginning of...
Okay, so, wait, what's going on, you guys? I thought we were having what happened? They can shoot for another, what do you say, 12 hours?
Yeah, Trump said that in the initial statement. Yes.
What's the point of that video? What's the point?
Because basically they had because both sides had operations already in motion, so it's just a realistic way to wind it down. It's just what is the most realistic way.
I think what CEO is saying, so it doesn't look like
Translate.
so it doesn't look like one side breached it immediately after if there was something already in motion, right? So it looked like a breach of the ceasefire. He's giving them 12 hours so they can retract their troops or whatever they had going on and then comply.
I don't really think that sense. That don't. I mean, that's the weird. I don't understand that. So you can get your last killing tonight.
No, but I let the person know, like, yo, you can hit me a few more days, for a few more hours, but
yeah, go drop a few bodies. I'm sliding right. If I'm in, I'm sliding right now.
Well, look at it like this. Let's say, two people are dating and they're like, we really should be abstinent, but we're both naked in a moment. So they're like, well, let's just knock this out one more time.
That's a horrible analogy.
I'll be comparing that to sex.
Now we're talking about countries fucking. We are talking about countries fucking.
Baby sex.
Oh my God.
Okay,
I guess
so
they both got
that sounds like some
explosions.
Trump shit right there. Okay, all right. The war is over. Y'all get out there, get your last lick in. It's never mind. That don't make no kind of damn
It's
sense.
like Purge. Think of Purge. That's how they give you that night to go ahead and get your shit off, and then the next morning it's back to normal.
That's almost what they're saying. So can I ask CEO, why can't I find anything out of Israel nor Iran about the ceasefire? Anybody?
Reuters, yeah, the Iranian officials confirmed it with people. It's multiple places. I put it in the chat. Yeah,
I was driving. I wasn't checking it out.
Yeah,
So
it's
Reuters
confirmed.
said it. I wonder why.
Sky News said it.
This up.
Yeah, it's
What, the ceasefire?
yes.
It's not confirmed.
Is it confirmed by Israel or is it confirmed by Russia?
It's confirmed by Iran. I
What source? Cite your source. I've been looking at
Reuters.
I'm looking too. I'm on Reuters right now.
Reuters. Look
I'm
up.
there
Look
right
up.
now.
Iran confirmed.
I'm on Reuters right now. Did you find it, Gemini?
Let me know.
No, I'm looking right now though.
So what I'm saying,
Asia, stop laughing because I'm already confused.
All I see from Reuters, the title from Reuters 44 minutes ago is
I typed
Trump
the link in the
announces
chat.
Israel ceasefire.
Somebody
Link in the
put
chat.
the link.
Okay, I did find this. It says the Times of Israel, senior Iranian official confirms Tehran agreeing to ceasefire. So I do see that in the timesofisrael.com.
Oh, but in your link it says Trump says.
Come on, you guys, get it right, because we don't want to give all these great
It says Trump. Yeah, it says Trump on that.
Nonsense.
I
Yeah.
was if I was interrupted. It was saying that his words, Trump is the one announcing a ceasefire, and Reuters did report it, but that's it so far. And that it's Qatar mediating it. So we'll see.
So there is no official confirmation from the government.
No, everything's saying Trump, according to
Yeah,
Trump.
everything I have is also saying Trump as well. Trump
What?
said in every other paragraph.
Let me see what Reuters actually said though, but it's supposed to be a 12. Let me see. Okay, whatever, let's see.
Okay, so listen to this one.
Sky News, sorry, I put in the wrong thing. Sky News is in the link chat now. It says Iran confirmed.
I'm on Sky News right now as well, but everything that Trump does always got a big ass question mark and in the eye roll, because it said right here, okay, first they gave him 12 hours to keep fighting. And this one from skynews.com as what's the date on here? June 24th, 1:02 UK time.
Fox News also.
Ceasefire has agreed, but I was trying to get something where these.
It says Trump as well, as Trump declares.
According to Donald Trump, the U.S. president made the announcement on Truth Social. Let me find some place where they said it. In a post shared after 1 UK time, Mr. Trump said the first stage of the ceasefire will begin 6 hours later. That's weird. This means both sides could still launch a strike in the meantime.
That's how it goes.
After.
Trump is a fucking dick, bro.
That's how it goes. That's how all
Yeah, so here's the exact quote. Senior Iranian official told Reuters news agency that agreed to the ceasefire.
I literally just read that.
Israeli media reports suggest Benjamin Netanyahu was also on board.
It says Israeli media reports suggest Benjamin. It didn't say he wasn't suggest. Benjamin Netanyahu was also on board, provided, you didn't read the whole thing, provided Iran stops firing missiles toward the country. This is some bullshit.
And they're wrapping it up. Like, why are we...
Just wrap that up. Somebody said he's hiding the truth.
The level of coping is crazy. It is a crazy level of coping.
CEO, when you guys asked us for proof, it's scrutinized just as much. So why is it wrong for us to go in here and try to verify this and scrutinize it and make sure we give it an accurate
Considering that. It's not wrong at all. So it's not wrong.
Yo, somebody ping Trent in here. I think he knows something else. Come on, ping him in.
And
Talking about Big Daddy Trump, Lisa. You supposed to take what he says at face value.
That says something.
Y'all need to start sucking on the orange pacifier and quit questioning.
Stop playing. Okay, so so Trump wrote, quote, officially Iran will start the ceasefire. Wait a minute. Listen to this carefully, you guys. Listen carefully, because this is Trump talk. Trump wrote, quote, officially Iran will start the ceasefire. And upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire.
I believe it.
That's a crazy shit.
Wait, let's finish out this and see.
Run that back one more time.
Everybody on the stage. We didn't even finish with the quote. Okay, y'all listen with your listening ears. This is from Trump. Quote, officially, Iran will start the ceasefire. And upon the 12th hour, Israel will start, and he's got ceasefire in capital letters, will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12th day war will be saluted by the world. And then, quote, on the assumption, and listen to this part, that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina.
This sounds like 80s movie intelligence.
Yes,
some
they
fucking
did.
disaster.
Lisa, don't you remember?
Yeah.
We talked about this an hour ago, right? Joe and I were talking about manifesting, that he basically manifested this, right? And Iran has agreed, right? And the reports are Israel has agreed, so it seems like a successful manifestation.
CEO, what are you saying? CEO, hang on a second. CEO, if I could.
Thank you. Can somebody else jump in? Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, please. So, CEO.
The convict number 1 will fall face first down the stairs.
CEO, so I was just in a whole room. They've got over 100 people. Content, with the headline, and of course it's healthy debates with the usual suspects as mods. A whole title saying it is official. Trump is the best president because ceasefire is official. I've scoured all I actually pressed one of the mods and just asked him directly. This guy Marvin, and said, "Well, you're saying it officially."
Keep quiet, but the idea that is that they are actually trying to make propaganda, maybe those three sides, they are already being clear. So that means they don't have another power. And if they don't have another power, and Trump realized that, so Trump now can play and say, okay, let me bring all of them to agreement. So Trump actually can force them and they can agree. Because Israel don't have a power right now. You see, Israel right now is depending on America. And if Trump say you come to peace agreement, Netanyahu will not say no, because where will he get the 52 to go and destroy those weapons? It's going to be difficult. So I think if this one can depend on Trump, to say, okay, I'm going to force them into ceasefire and they will sign it. Or Trump can say, okay, we do it like the way it used to work with the Middle East politics, where now most of the weapon has been destroyed. So next it will be, they can create a regime change, kind of. And I saw some, I think, Iranian diaspora, they are like kind of line up.
Don't mind. That's all. I don't care about his thinking.
Oh, who cares about us?
Of course I do. I've been saying it for years. What are you talking about?
All right, no longer Trump. Not verified, but 3 explosions in Camp Taji. Radar equipment was destroyed with drones. Again, none of this is verified. I mean, I believe we at this point have verified through Reuters that an explosion happened.
They also confirmed that Israel accepted a ceasefire, right?
They confirmed that Israel didn't accept the ceasefire because they just blew the shit out of Tehran.
Yeah, but ceasefire doesn't mean, ceasefire.
Well, that's true. And also Iran has confirmed that they did not accept the ceasefire explicitly.
Well, Trump tried. Now he can continue pulling the shit out of things.
Well, yeah, and if this is an Iranian attack on an American base in Iraq, now Trump has the excuse he needs.
never will. He said in an interview with Sky News that it's a great day for the U.S. and for the Middle East and a wonderful day for the world. I am happy to have been able to get the job done. A lot of people were dying and it was only going to get worse. It would have brought the whole Middle East down, he said. Trump says he thinks the ceasefire is unlimited and is going to go forever. Wait, what is going on?
Patty, I totally I get, Patty, that it's not a light switch you just turn off. That completely makes sense. There's many layers. But what I don't get is that we're not getting any confirmation or any hints from Iran or Netanyahu, aside from Trump. Now, is that, and this is a genuine question, is that like a war scheme tactic too, that neither of the ones that are actually directly involved in the conflict don't want to show their ceasefire hand, and Trump is leaking something? Like, it just feels weird that Trump is the only one who's tweeting this, you know?
Right.
Something ain't right, Moose. Once again.
The media, World Star.
I'm seeing other places saying it too.
Yeah,
Right.
but both of them have to agree. So there's a possibility.
Saying it.
There's a possibility that the reason why they're doing the phase like that is because Israel's afraid that Iran won't stop. So that's why they're saying Iran first and then Israel next.
Right.
Yeah, Haitian, there's multiple sources. All the sources are saying that it's only Trump. Only Trump is in all the news sources.
Right.
I can't find a single source that says either Iran or Israel is confirming this.
Right, because it's all about America getting the ceasefire after we ding dong. What's the word? Ding dong ditch. When you were a kid, that's all we did was do like a warning shot over there, and ever since that we have to say, okay, we don't want to fight. We have to sit down at the table and negotiate. And Iran will never sit down at the table with Israel.
That don't sound to me like
So Iran is listening to the table, right? And the little shit Iran did today was just a pop off, so they could say they did something. Now, do I think Iran is not going to do, little target attacks? No, I guarantee the same shit they've been doing, they're going to do.
Will Iran sit down and negotiate with Israel, Haitian, without us?
Why would they do it without us?
That's my point.
That's not what you said, though.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you, bro.
Yeah, I ain't here to argue, brother. I'm trying to build with y'all. But I'm just saying what I saw on World Star, and then after I went on, I saw reported. That was the first source I saw it reported on. That was the first source I saw.
World Star is crazy.
This is tied. This is important. This is important to recognize.
Hold on. You don't want to jump on water. I was watching porn and there was an ad right before it. And
You got it from Pornhub. See? It's everywhere.
You guys got it from the other website.
Pornhub and World Star. Let's stop the press.
Credible sources. Credible, yes, sir.
But what you guys got from the Fox, you got from World Star. Ain't nothing
They're all saying the same thing. Ain't that something?
Star before Fox.
So it is a phase ceasefire. It's not an immediate stop. It's a phase ceasefire.
Right.
Okay.
Ceasefire between us and them.
No, it's not.
Well, Iran's not going to fight us, and we're not going to fight Iran. So that's the only ceasefire I see right now. They can still pop you very big.
Don't cut Patty, y'all. She's actually giving good information, and you're saying some fuckery right now, bro.
It's a phase ceasefire. I'm reading it right here. It's a phase ceasefire. So that is correct. They're going to stop the heavy attacks. Then they got to do their stand-down orders. The reason why is because they don't trust each other.
Okay, so just asking another question to the people on Pornhub and the other one. So, did it say why Trump? Wait, I'm sorry, that's the wrong question to be asked. Netanyahu, his whole reason for going over there. Can we just back up everybody? Let's back up the car. Let's back up the U-Haul and the what else things you guys use when you're transporting troops. He said The reason he even started that is because of the buildup of nuclear capability by Iran. That's why he even went over there with that urgency. And since then, they've been trading back and forth. So let's move up. Then we sent over B-2 bombers and dropped, 17 bombs or some shit like that, hitting 3 installments that we thought this particular nuclear material, I don't know the correct word, was being either housed or being developed or whatever, right? So then we found out, I think somebody's trying to save face. Something's not right here. We found out from Iran, even before this happened, because I need to find that interview. Y'all don't remember I was translating this interview of this guy? Remember? I was actually translating it. He was speaking, and I said I have to read it in the translation. He said, and that was days before this, he said that they had moved that shit in that interview. So are you guys wanting me to believe, and the rest of the 420, that they accomplished, because he said he wasn't going to stop, and he didn't stop in Gaza either. He's still going until he was certain that they cannot no longer have the capability to build up this particular nuclear whatever. Are we saying that has been accomplished and Netanyahu has agreed? And because here's one more quote. He said, I am very happy to get done. The ceasefire is unlimited and is going to go forever. Adding, I don't believe they will ever be shooting at each other again. So, what? What are we saying?
I believe that this motherfucker who said last night that he was a time traveler, because now I'm starting to believe this shit for him to say that it's going to hold forever. Lisa, how can you say something's going to hold forever? And I don't really believe he's a time traveler, but what kind of language is this?
That's what I'm telling you. I'm reading it in quotes, verbatim.
Whoa. Y'all, I gotta say, so WorldStar reposted from Truth Social. So WorldStar is completely compromised.
Ding, ding, ding.
What? What happened?
The title in the WorldStar.
Yup. Same with Pornhub.
It says ceasefire between Israel and Iran. It's a complete fake news.
Stop lying! Are we lying again? Are you guys being serious?
I'm gonna post it. Yeah.
Please do that.
Wow.
I was trying to post the Pornhub link.
I need to run for office. I am always getting all this shit right. I'm running for Black woman world.
You need it, Lisa. We need a cabinet with some real sisters and just women.
I told you this didn't make sense when I was on my lunch break. I said, this don't feel right, y'all. It don't feel right. And here we go with this shit. He says, because Netanyahu made it plain. And has Nettie ever let us down? He said he's going to keep going until he has accomplished that mission. He wasn't going to stop. Now, you guys are telling me that he's going to stop and never shoot at them again?
No, I'm more confused now than ever. You guys got me all confused.
How long has he been on this? Netanyahu been on this mission for years.
Like, I don't understand. Are they stopping? Are they slowing down? Like,
I need to do more digging. We need to do more digging. We got to do more digging.
I told you guys just wait for Trent to come here. Trent has the building.
And that kingdom.
Then we know where the lie is.
He's making that car sales. He's selling the car.
Aren't you surprised that he hasn't came here to say any news today?
True.
It's a Monday. He's selling cars.
Something happened at the
border.
Trump ceasefire also on live TV. Okay, so what is going on with that? Trump ceasefire fully agreed to between. I don't see nothing on here.
What I got from Business Insider, it says President Donald Trump, the ceasefire will go into effect Tuesday morning local time, Trump said. The announcement comes after Israel and Iran. Yes, you got it. Spent the past week and a half trading strikes. President Donald Trump said on Monday evening that Israel and Iran have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire.
Right. That's Trump. again, it's just Trump, right? Not the average.
I will say this though, like in all fairness, like with all trolling aside, we have been giving him a lot of grief because he came in during the campaign trail touting himself as the peaceful president that was going to dead all the wars and he was going to end Ukraine and Russia within 24-hour periods. And now that he's actually attempting to do it, even though he bombed first, we understand that, right? He's actually trying to put it out there, even if it's manifestation, and we're giving the same criticism. Like, I kind of feel like we're being hypocritical on that level, right?
We gave him more grace.
At least let him attempt to see if he can create a ceasefire. Like, I think that's a step in the right direction. No,
100%, Gemini. 100%.
How much time, Gemini?
I just think I just don't want. I don't want. As I'm all about manifestation. Do it daily with meditation, but it's one thing to manifest and be like, all right, let's hope for, right? We have nothing to lose at this point. Let's hope for the best. But when you have folks out here saying it's confirmed, that's just my only problem I have here, because that's literally fake news. The only person that is saying this on the planet, as far as we know, is the lunatic in the White House. But hey, I'm all for it. Let's, if he's got BB's ear, and then let's rock it. Let's make it happen. But the whole thing seems like wag the dog, seems suspect. Talking about regime change 1 hour, talking about the war's over the next hour. I mean, he is a sociopath, so this is typical behavior for him.
He's panicking under no king's
He's
march.
definitely acting like a Gemini. This is crazy.
Why do I have to catch strays? Why do I have to catch strays for no reason? No reason. This is not even right.
That's why I don't subscribe to astrology.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're looking at the left side of his face or the right side. It's crazy.
I'm still looking here. Lisa, this man, this is schizophrenic diplomacy, okay?
Look at that.
Yeah, text that. This is, he's bipolar. This is has said and said, oh no, we're not doing regime change. Vance goes on and said, our beef isn't with the Iranian people. It's about disarming nuclear. Tulsi Gabbard said there's no nuclear threat. And then Trump says, oh my dear, we're going after regime change. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, who trusts it? Okay, we're going to give them 2 weeks. And then he bombs them in like the next day. It's like, it's ridiculous. I don't trust anything this man says until it's concrete. Okay?
San Diego's
This is
showing
like
up.
diplomacy by, yeah, it's crazy. But the thing about it, you guys, please, we're dealing with Trump. Everything he's said thus far since he's been in office has been either a lie or a stretching of the truth till it's completely out of shape, like your old ass granny panties stretched completely out of fucking shape, and it's not making sense. I'm going through everything trying to find it. I found nothing. Like, what? Come on, Netanyahu of all the people with these big
details. Have y'all heard what J.D. Vance had to say about this?
We were trying to listen to J.D. Vance, but I couldn't get through it. So you want to add something to it?
You listened to it, but you couldn't get through it? I don't think
No, we didn't get to the whole interview on Fox. You guys.
I got it right here.
What happened with Iran in the Middle East, and some breaking news coming just now. Joining us this evening, Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice
We were listening to that. Fast forward a little bit.
Seconds ago, the president went to Truth Social and typed this. It happened with Iran in the Middle East.
That's fine. Leave it there.
Happened with Iran in the Middle East.
It's this. Hold on.
Leave it where you have it. Don't try to fast forward it because it's gonna cause you too much consternation. Just go ahead. You can play it from that point.
Especially if it's a TikTok.
Oh, that's TikTok?
I don't know. Well, TikTok, you can't fucking fast forward. It's not a TikTok.
I think what the Iranians have shown very clearly is they don't want this war to go on for much longer. Their air defenses have been totally destroyed. Their conventional missile program has been largely destroyed. And of course, their nuclear program has been obliterated, as I said before. So I think the Iranians are at a place where they don't want to keep on fighting. You saw the president, and I don't have the truth in front of me, but he talked about the next 6 hours finalizing the attacks. I mean, I think what he's talking about is right now, for the American people watching, it's dark over there. That's typically when the Israelis and the Iranians have been shooting at each other. I think there's some recognition that might continue for another few hours, and tomorrow really is a new day. The end of the 12-day war, the end of the Iranian nuclear program, and I really do believe the beginning of something very big for peace in the Middle East.
So you said totally obliterated. The president has said totally obliterated the Iran nuclear program.
Yeah.
Do you know for sure where all the highly enriched uranium is?
Well, Brett, I think that's actually not the question before us. The question before us is, can Iran enrich the uranium to a weapons-grade level, and can they convert that fuel to a nuclear weapon? And we know, based on the success of our mission, of course, the leadership of the president, but the incredible skill of our military, that the two mission objectives are completely successful. We know that they cannot build a nuclear weapon. Now, you asked about the highly enriched uranium.
Yeah, like 900 pounds.
But what we know, Brett, is that uranium is something that exists in very large supply. Our goal was to bury the uranium, and I do think the uranium is buried, but our goal was to eliminate the enrichment and eliminate their ability to convert that enriched fuel into a nuclear weapon. I think that's an important point, Brett, because so many of the folks who have focused on the highly enriched uranium, the main focus, Brett, has been to destroy their enrichment capacity, because we don't want that 60% uranium to become 90% uranium. That's the real concern, and that's what was so successful about our mission.
So after all this, if the Iranian government survives as is, what's to stop it from rebuilding over time if they in fact moved the 60% highly enriched uranium? That's the concern.
No, the big concern, Brett, and this is again what we destroyed, is their ability to enrich uranium. If they have 60% enriched uranium, but they don't have the ability to enrich it to 90%, and further, they don't have the ability to convert that to a nuclear weapon, that is mission success. That is the obliteration of their nuclear program, which is why the president, I think, rightly is using that term. But here's the question. If Iran is desperate to build a nuclear weapon in the future, then they're going to have to deal with a very, very powerful American military again. Our hope is that the lesson that the Iranians have learned here is, look, we can fly a bunker buster bomb from Missouri to Iran completely undetected without anything on the ground, and we can just...
Hold that, sis. Hold on. I'm live in Iran, okay? And Israel is launching missiles.
Are we surprised?
In Iran. And so let me just back this up a little bit so y'all can hear, so you don't think I'm lying. Oh, damn it. Did I mess it up? Let me go ahead, finish yours. This is such bullshit. Something's not right again with this fake ass ceasefire and your lump of you know who, okay? Something is not right here. So let me try to get this back to where I had it. Go ahead, April, and finish your cut, and I'm going to try to get back to where I had it. This is great.
Destroy whatever nuclear capacity you build up. I think that lesson is what's going to teach them not to rebuild their nuclear capacity.
Yesterday, were you speaking on the president's behalf when you said he was not interested in regime change?
Well, Brett, what I said is the American military, that is not our mission as regime change. Our mission was to destroy the nuclear facilities and the nuclear program of Iran, which we, of course, did. I think what the president's also said is that the Iranian people want to make a decision about regime change. That's between the Iranian people and the regime. Of course, we support freedom fighters all around the world, but our mission was to destroy the nuclear facilities, and that's what we did.
So you don't think there's any mixed message when he goes to True Social and says it's not politically correct to use the term regime change? The current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again. Why wouldn't there be a regime change?
Well, I think what the president is saying very clearly, Brett, is if the Iranian people want to do something about their own leadership, that's up to the Iranian people. What the American national security interest here is very simple. It's to destroy the nuclear program. That's what we've done. Now that the 12-day war appears to be effectively over, we have an opportunity, I think, to restart a real peace process. And Brett, this is not...
I'm pausing him there because he's so full of shit. It's not even worth going on.
Thank you. I'm throwing up all over my
Trump might not be a politician, but J.D. Vance is. Well, he wasn't saying that. He was saying this when he was saying that. He meant this while saying that, you know.
Excuse me, we don't ask Lisa a question.
Oh, hang on. Trump spokesperson is here. Welcome, Manfinity. So what's the news on the ground, Manfinity? What's your boys telling us?
I'd like to ask Lisa a question because when I came in the room, she said something's not right about the ceasefire.
I don't know what she means by that. I'm just asking.
Looking for an
That's
article.
exactly what she said.
The
That's what she said.
Well, you are the Lita whisperer. What does
Just
she mean
what
by
she said is what she means.
I'll help you out, man, Infinity. Look, what she's saying is right now, we haven't been able to confirm it from either government, right? We've heard it directly from Trump. We're looking for sources for them to come out and say, we are completely compliant, we are on board, we're surfing, we do not want to continue this war. There is a ceasefire in place that we are going to comply with. Thank you, President Trump. We're not finding that, sir.
Okay, so you're saying you're looking for an independent confirmation of what's.
We're looking for someone for like Netanyahu or someone like the supreme leader of the military for Iran to confirm what the president of the United States has been typing in all caps, like a teenager on Reddit.
That's absolutely fair, but you can understand why you'd be happy or excited if this is actually the case, because this is great news, right? For the world.
Absolutely, but he's stating it as facts. That's the concern.
Sorry, say again?
Absolutely. We were just talking about manifestation, and believe it or not, man, we were like, hey, we'll get behind Trump if he actually can pull this ceasefire off, of course, to an extent. We're all about manifesting peace and saving many, many, many innocent lives in Iran. The problem, again, is that we're not getting any other official confirmation aside from Trump's Truth Social.
Right, and Trump is not to be trusted. You should never take anybody at their word. So I would agree. I think independent confirmation would be satisfying.
So why? No, hold on. Stop. We just had a breakthrough moment. I like to acknowledge that Mr. Manfinity said Trump is not to be trusted, and then he caught himself.
Nobody is.
But I agree with you. Trump is not to be trusted, and I'm glad to see that you actually acknowledge and know that.
Amen, Jen. Amen.
Nobody needs to be taken at face value. No one should be taken at face value. Everybody should be fact checked and triple checked, because you never know. People can get things wrong. But I do know that in my experience with Trump is very rarely the case that he would be so unequivocal.
What experience you have with Trump?
This is hilarious.
He jerks off his picture every night. I've been a constituent of Trump for 2 terms now, almost completion of 2 terms, and I rarely know him to be so unequivocal about something and it to be completely false, especially
unequivocal about something. And it's false. Okay, so did you actually read? In the word that you use, unequivocal, has nothing to do with what he actually printed out with his 2 fat thumbs. Is everything in here has holes in it? Is that? Do you know the definition of unequivocal?
Yes.
Okay, what is
unequivocal? What he's being unequivocal. He is being unequivocal.
Okay, so
he's being extremely clear.
By him saying, okay, listen to this. So you obviously didn't read it, or maybe it didn't hit you the way it hit everyone else. Okay, Mr. Trump wrote. Officially, Mr. Trump wrote, this is coming, I'm reading this. This is what they call reading. I'm not inserting anything else into this. I'm reading it. So this is from sky.com. It's one of your friendly news stations that you guys like to look at, your magas, or read, if you read or not. Mr. Trump wrote, officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. On the assumption, this is how the unequivocal, if you guys know what the definition of unequivocal means. Now here it comes, right here. This is definitely not the definition of unequivocal. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, I don't even know why I use that word, it makes no sense, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. I'm not finished. This war, I'm still quoting, this war could have gone on for years. Now remember what Manfinity said, unequivocal. This war should have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. That's a quote. In an interview with Sky News partner, the president said it was a great day for the U.S. and the Middle East and a wonderful day for the world. Here's another quote. I am very happy to have been able to get the job done. A lot of people were dying and it was only going to get worse. It would have brought would have brought the whole Middle East down, he said. Mr. Trump said he thinks, unequivocally thinks, that the ceasefire is unlimited, he put that in quotes, and is going to last forever, and he put that in quotes, adding, I don't believe they will ever be shooting at each other again. Now that's the finish of his quotes. Does that sound like the definition of
unequivocal? I read that it was a complete and total ceasefire. I read the one where he said the terms complete and total ceasefire.
That's just one she's reading. You just didn't read the rest. You just didn't read the rest.
It's so wonderful to have a dictionary right here on my.
But why do we keep acting like Iran hasn't confirmed they agree? How come people keep skipping over that? I'm just curious.
Well, we're just trying to get all the facts together, CEO. We're working our way down from A to Z. We're still working on
Why do we be questioning whether it's
because he's our
No, I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying the Iran part is confirmed. Israel is. You can say Israel isn't confirmed, but Iran is.
CEO, where are you getting that Iran is confirmed?
Didn't you all look at the link? Sky News, Reuters. We don't count Reuters anymore.
I will.
Reuters said
CEO. Hold up, CEO. I will concede and say that the Israel Times actually said that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is literally breaking news. That is breaking news. Because half hour ago, I couldn't find anything.
45 minutes ago.
I'll take the good news.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
I remember saying on the Israeli side, media is reporting that Netanyahu. It's not an official statement from Netanyahu, but there is some signs there as well. But
one of the signs.
No, we haven't seen anything from Netanyahu. I've been very fair in the CEO. You gotta admit that.
Okay,
we haven't seen anything from Netanyahu. We haven't.
Yo, y'all killing me today, bro.
Thank you guys for coming to the 420. Well, we're going to get this shit straight. We're going to solve it. If Trump can't solve it, we can solve it. Just like we solved the murderer in Minnesota. We did it here in the 420. So we're going to get this straight.
We're going to get it straight before they close the straight.
Hello. Lisa, I love that.
Straight before they close the straight. I like that. Lisa, I got a question for you. Just a quick sidebar.
Yes.
Whatever happened with your bet with the gentleman running around loose with the face tattoos from prison? What happened with that?
I lost my bet.
Is he still loose?
Yeah.
Loose as a goose.
Loose
is someone's, whatever.
Yo, Gemini, I was telling them that he has a lookalike that lives in Memphis, but he don't have any tattoos on the face, but he looks just like him.
Oh, that's what you was talking about when you said that earlier. Okay, I didn't know you was talking about. Got you.
Okay, so y'all, are we clear? Do I have to play another? And as of this moment, I thought they were shooting. Let me see if this is the correct, because this is from, what's the guy's name? Gloria Vanderbilt's son, who used to be on CNN. He's still on CNN, I think. The one with the white hair, Anderson Cooper. Let's see.
Did Anderson have to scatter and get in the bomb shelter somewhere?
Well, let me see, because right now, of course, he's Jewish though, right? I think he's over in Israel.
I have no idea what
certainly from the Iranian perspective, the desire, if I'm speculating here, obviously, is to put a line under it now and move on to the next phase.
We're going to check in with Fred Plankton. He is on the phone from Tehran. Fred, you've been monitoring Iranian state media, also the skies over Iran. Have there been any attacks from Israel in the skies? And also, what are you hearing from Iranian officials, whether through the media or going?
There's actually there's actually ongoing attacks from the Israelis in the skies, at least.
I'm sorry.
Why is that funny? How does it not align with what was said? How does it not align that was said? Read the statement.
You said Okay.
24 hours.
One mic.
It aligns.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I was asking. So they got 24 hours to get their shit off to make sure they can kill.
It's not a microwave. Patty explained it. This is not a microwave. You put the popcorn in and it's done after 3 minutes. That's not what this is.
Well, excuse me for my dunce cap. Sometimes it's a little too tight while I'm sitting over here in the corner. But I'm
That's
just
what
trying
they're
to
saying
learn.
it is.
I'm trying to learn. So anyway, somebody who's over there is saying that Israel's still launching. So, okay. So anybody else got anything to add or subtract?
It seems to me that they're training us to lie to each other.
Yeah, we'll know if there's a ceasefire once the stock market morning bell goes off Tuesday morning.
The markets are already up.
Yeah, we already good on the crypto and stock is going up right now as we speak. That's a fact.
I hope we're all happy about this. I hope people aren't kicking themselves thinking, damn, I don't want Trump to get a win. Come on, y'all.
This is not even unique to Trump. Like, you think everything's about, this is about us as a
I know.
Yeah, you're idol worshiping infinity.
We have people in the military, unlike some people, I would never. I'm putting my own flesh and blood on the line for your Joker. A's, and you're telling me I hope I'm not trying to pretend like
I didn't mention your name, Lisa.
He thinks poorly
I didn't
of us
mention your name,
because
Lisa.
he
No, I'm taking it personally because
I didn't mention your name, so you shouldn't take it personally.
But you said you
I did not say it, Lisa. You should join me in saying that.
You said I hope nobody, and nobody can include anyone on the stage.
If it don't apply, let it fly.
Man, Felix MAGA, and MAGA thinks that everybody in here like they like Joe Biden being harmed, and they like all him having cancer and pretending he's in the crib. So they think everybody else acts like it.
He was just telling us what they do. That's all he was doing. He was telling us what they do.
No, y'all are mad that Trump got another one. He made it.
Oh my God!
That's what you want. That's what you want for us to be.
Right now.
Man, Infinity, hold on. I didn't want to say this. Man, Infinity, look. We have family and friends that are in the military, and we reside in the United States, which means our best interest is aligned with Trump's, believe it or not. We do not want to see people die for no reason. We do not want to see us enter a war that is not beneficial to anybody and can lead to our death. Not our death, but people that we love dying. It could negatively impact our economy, run the deficit up even further. It's the last thing that we want. You're making it a personal vendetta. Like, oh, y'all just hate Trump so much that you just want to see people die. Like, that is not who we are, bro. That's Republicans.
That's not what I said.
That's who he
That's
wants
what you.
us to
That's
be.
exactly what you're
That's who
saying.
he
What
wants
I'm saying is, I sense
That's who
that
he
there's
wants
such
us to be.
But what we're trying to say is,
No, you need a pause. You need a pause. You talk way too. No, here's what you. And where is it? The ceasefire in Palestine. That's what Pastor said, and that is the next
You
topic.
need to apologize to all of us for thinking the worst.
I sense the Trump hatred in here. Want to allow you to see this clearly. That's all.
Oh my God! Nobody.
You see that? You see that?
You must.
Look how
You must hate. Saying that
Worshiping false
He's trying to center himself. That's all he's doing.
You're being a beta's beta. I didn't mean to call you a name. I'm just saying, bro. When are you gonna get off your knees?
Water. He wants the attention. Let's move on. Do we have another topic?
We're still on this topic.
This is a big distraction from Palestine and Gaza. So I think we should go full circle and talk about where is the ceasefire for all three.
I'm looking on here, and Vance. Okay, I don't want to read this whole article, but it says that J.D. Vance expects Iran and Israel to keep shooting at each other until ceasefire goes into effect. Now, why is this safe? Because you can actually hit something that would change all our plans. You know, if we just keep on firing at each other and for the next, day or two, they said Tuesday sometime. What if you hit a hospital, or what if you hit a school? Well, I don't understand this, but
it's just stupid, but that's how it goes.
Okay.
Alright.
It's dumb as fuck, but that's how this.
Maybe they want to make it look like there is a ceasefire, and then Iran does something dumb, and then they say, okay, look, they blew the ceasefire, we're going to go for it again, and so we go back. I don't know.
Israel's going to annihilate Gaza during all this bullshit. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. You gotta bring us back around the corner order, because I don't understand.
No, can we stay off of that corner, please? Stay off of that.
No, what are you talking about? We're talking about a ceasefire. Where was the ceasefire with Gaza and Palestine and Israel? It never happened. So Iran entered the chat, and they said, okay, uncle.
Okay, so Putin.
What are you talking about, Water? You might have been high during that time, bro.
It's still going. They're still fighting them.
Do you know what
the fuck you're even talking about, Haitian? You need to shut the fuck up, fool. You're pissing me off now.
Check right now.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Oh, shit. Water and Haitian.
They fucking corralling these motherfuckers while they're trying to feed them with the humanitarian aid, and they're just mowing them down? Nah, dog. You ain't an American. You talking like that? Nah.
Water.
I just came back from smoking a blunt, y'all. I just came back from smoking a blunt.
I'm gonna be good today.
What kind of shit are y'all on today right now? Like, what's going on?
If we're going to talk about war, we're going to talk about war.
Water, you know what the fuck you're talking about?
We're watering it down. I ain't fucking breastfeeding this bitch.
Yeah, you gotta let the go, Water. Let's go, Water.
Haitian, just ignore it.
Haitian, stop dropping people.
I didn't drop nobody.
You dropped water.
I didn't drop anybody. Water's right here.
Okay, relax you guys. Men's voices are at a higher octave. What's going on?
Energy of the planet.
Yeah, hella violent tonight. Like, I feel
Okay. Stay on the environment. It's good.
You need the woosah for real, Haitian. You about to give me an anxiety attack with all of that extra.
Water started it. One of the people was trying to be aggressive. No, I was being aggressive about Israel and Gaza. Y'all stop it. Stop it. Don't you attack my point. You attack my point. Do not attack me today. You feel me?
Hold up.
With your grandmother's lips.
All right, listen.
Love. One night on Lisa.
Lisa. Lisa. Thank you, Gemini. And me.
Okay.
What's that Alter saying?
Are the men? Are you guys good?
Alter got a nice voice.
I don't name call Haitian. He's too emotional for me.
Don't fucking
War to chill.
That's why I say his name and things can move forward.
Just chill, Haitian. Chill.
So, go ahead, Lisa.
It's all love.
Small world, Water.
It's a small world out there.
Oh my God, you guys, not this. Not meet me outside. If we just end
Meet me outside. Meet me outside.
Oh, I ain't saying I'm not meeting outside, but I'm
Can we have a ceasefire in the 420?
That's what I was going to say. Can Lisa negotiate a ceasefire?
Let me come get
I do not say anything about meeting anybody outside. But sometimes you gotta let people know that you know what you're doing.
No, you don't.
You need to reach out and touch them. So like you, Water, I know you're high school. And this is what? High school? How, Water? You gotta be careful. You don't want to talk shit.
Relax with that. Relax.
Okay, so you guys, has anybody seen any information on Putin? Because I'm trying to pull this. It's too long. Putin World War III, last and final warning, and this is live. And then I saw another one. You'd be surprised. The world is shocked by what Putin said. So, but I can't. Okay, Putin says Russia backs Ukraine. Oh, that's not it. Damn it. That's good. Let me go here and find what I'm trying to find. But anyway, anybody got anything to add or subtract to this story? It's building and it's.
Yes. So this is why. Okay, can I talk or you want to get?
I just say go ahead, brother.
You good? All right.
Oh, I'm
So
This is why, this is why it's more important. Do it one more time. This is why.
Ultra, stop fucking doing that.
Breaking news. So, when
we got breaking news coming in, you guys. Go ahead, breaking news, please.
Trump has just launched a homophobic attack on Anderson Cooper. He's calling him out Allison Cooper, and she's questioning the validity of, we know for real that the sites were completely destroyed. He called him Allison Cooper, and he's calling the media now douchebags. Yeah, that's your placement. Are you?
You mean he's calling Anderson Cooper Allison Cooper?
Or Alice Cooper. Which one? Was that breaking news worthy? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that's a homophobic squad. He's deliberately calling him Allison Cooper.
Can I speak now?
Okay, no, it was who was speaking before.
I was trying to speak.
Go ahead, sir.
No worries. Good morning. First of all, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody having a wonderful day.
Who the fuck is that?
It's Hedge.
What the hell is HK?
Yeah, it should have me fucked up too.
That's my actual nickname, so this is the real one.
I like black better. I like black.
That's crazy. I'll go back to black then. No, it's fine. Anyway, so the reason why this is more important is that Iran had a lot more allies backing them and a lot more powerful allies backing them, right? Russia was ready to go. Like, they had the Prime Minister saying they had one day.
Did they meet with Russia today?
No, but he announced today. He said that.
They met with them on
Sunday. Okay, my bad.
But he said that he was willing to give them nukes. And so it's not the same as Gaza. And unfortunately, yes, Gaza is still experiencing death, right? But unfortunately, Palestine and Gaza did not have the backing that Iran has. They have Russia at their side. Russia's waiting. Russia's just waiting, right? Any excuse to come over here and start messing with U.S. bases already. And so it was more at stake, right? France got involved. France was getting really upset with Israel because what they did with the prisons. So this was closer to a World War III than we ever had gotten. So yes, this ceasefire was more important when it comes to priority versus the Gaza, but it was a ceasefire in Gaza as well. We have to start taking these small victories, right? We got to start looking at these things and go, okay, this is good. Now let's work on the next one, right? Not going, oh well, fuck this because this happened over here. So what? This kid's dying in Africa right now. Across the world, there's wars happening that nobody's talking about. So if we want to, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We want to talk about Palestine. That's good because it's a popular thing right now. There's like 40 countries in Africa we can talk about right now that's going through the same problems as we speak.
I think we should question everything.
No, you do.
Yeah, this man's he's a pathological liar. Literally, his mouth is moving most of the time is a lie. And I don't trust the legacy media. I listen to it, but I get my news from alternative media because they just most of them just repeat and vomit up what he says when it comes to war. They rally around the flag and it's Iraq all over again, and they don't question. Like, I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I can see and interpret myself.
So what do you see and interpret it?
I think it's a really strange thing to compare to Iraq anymore after this evening. That's just a really strange comparison. Yeah. Like, can you line it up for me? Can you take me through the similarities? Was there a ceasefire with Iraq after... doing one strike? What was the similarity?
Did anybody ever deduce the weapons of mass destruction? The Colin Powell and Judy Miller wrote about a million times in the New York Times that everybody that pretty much went on legacy media said that we had to rally around the flag and there were weapons. Did we ever discover them?
No, you're right.
Was Iraq responsible for 9/11? I don't know. Maybe it's maybe my memory.
No, they weren't. You're absolutely correct. So now draw the comparison to Iran.
So my comparison is Tulsi Gabbard in March did a threat assessment in which she stated that Iran was not near to be making a nuclear bomb. That they did not have And then Eni, which he's been saying, go watch the compilation that they came about from 1919 where he said
every other year up to 2025. They were 2 weeks away,
I've been
6 months
making this
away,
talking point
1 year.
myself. You're not saying
Exactly.
anything I
So hold
disagree with yet.
You gotta let me get
It
there.
comes to tonight. I'm saying now, why are you still saying it aligns? You don't need to convince me of anything before today. I'm saying
All
now,
I'm saying
today,
is,
why?
all I am saying is, my simple fact statement was, I don't trust anything that comes out of Trump and his regime. I have a very healthy skepticism, is what I'm saying, until things are borne out. And that's from getting burned. And even if you don't want to go back to Iraq, he just already said he was going to give them 2 weeks. Did that occur? Before that, they were actually at their negotiating table. What do? They took out their head Iran negotiator, where they were trying to go towards diplomacy. So why should I trust wholeheartedly? He goes against his own people. He goes against Vance. He goes against Hegstead. He makes Tulsi Gabbard bend the knee. I don't trust anything this man says until it's confirmed several times over.
Now you're making a different argument, which is fine.
No.
The argument you're making now is fine, but the comparison to Iraq now at this stage seems a little silly, because there was no ceasefire effort with Iraq. That's why it seems.
But no, Cyril, but you're missing the point. I'm not pulling the ceasefire. I'm saying I have a healthy skepticism as to whatever comes out of his mouth.
And you should, Levon, because now I'm reading. Okay, now he's in Anderson Cooper asked, because a lot of people are saying that they didn't really achieve what they said they achieved. Now I'm reading something from the ex-Russian president, I can't pronounce his last name, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin. He's saying, he's saying that the U.S. strike on Iran, it failed to achieve its objectives. So I think the same thing too. Does anyone disagree?
No, I think we're all on the same page about that. That's not controversial. I don't think.
Can I finish? Can I finish though? Because I'm going somewhere with this. Get in the car. Put your safety strap on. Let me turn on the gas station. So Netanyahu, and tell me if I'm wrong, CEO, said that he was not going to stop. I can go and pull these articles because they're everywhere, and audio, that he wasn't going to stop with Iran until the directive had been achieved, and that was to eliminate all of their nuclear, you can fill in whatever, because I don't know what they call it. Was that achieved or was it not?
It was not achieved. They just delayed it. They have delayed it. That's all they've done.
Oh, they delayed it. But did you hear what your president said?
He's lying. Yes. Okay. It is narrative. So so here's the thing. Here's the thing here's the thing we have to come to terms with there. There is narrative creation, right? And narrative creation is separate from reality, right? So now you have to ask yourself, why is a narrative being created a certain way? I haven't heard anyone ask that question, but why is a narrative being structured that way? Do y'all want to dive into that part of the conversation?
Okay, so you take us there. So a narrative. We're talking about a narrative.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Okay, so here's the elements of a narrative. So Trump has to manage the MAGA base, right? And he has to look strong and all of this and that, right? Blah, blah, blah. So he does a strike because basically the strike ends up being the narrative that we have disarmed our nuclear program. Okay, so an objective has been attained, right? And then a lot of them don't want to have a war, so ceasefire, right? So two objectives, both sides of his base handled, right, with that. If you're Iran, you end up talking to Qatar and saying, hey, we're going to send you these missiles, this and that, y'all take care of it, y'all shoot them down, right? Because if you're Iran, you need to show that you've done something. And then after you shoot the missiles, you get to tell your people some story like, oh, yeah, we damaged the U.S. base. We'll never stand down to America, blah, 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 right? So that's the Iran part, okay? And then if you're Israel, we are disarming Iran, we're taking care of him, all this and that, right? So everyone has gotten the narrative they want. So you use those three narratives to get yourself out of this quagmire. So it requires 3 lies to stop 1 war. So that's what's happening here. Of course they're lies, but it's the only way you get out of this. The alternative is you tell the truth and you keep going to war.
And as fucked up as it sounds, the CEO just said, I agree with him 100%. That's what it is. And it's show everybody that we're nothing but fucking pawns, and it's a big game. You have fucking world leaders that Twitter fingers, and that's how they want to fucking. Yep.
I am from Iran. Is this a ping pong way of, or do I have to wait for my turn?
It's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, I am a peace activist from Iran. I live in Colorado, United States, and I hope this so-called ceasefire lasts. That's one of the things that is they made a cover story for it in whatever, the Cuban whatever, or the mafia whatever. Within 3 months, Leonid Brezhnev of the Soviet Union began the coup against Nikita Khrushchev. 2 peace-seeking leaders were killed by their respective military-industrial complexes that were interdependent as enemies. The Cold War was a cash cow. So internal despotism and external colonialism are 2 sides of the same coin. In order to provide the cover or the justification for a racist, colonial, hegemonic military-industrial complex in this country and its hegemon, attack dog in Israel. And the Palestinians, they be genocided, and Trump says that they should be thrown out of Gaza, and the settler colonialists in the West Bank are killing and taking land because Israel does not want to play by the rules of the so-called, civilized world, the so-called civilized world. So right now, there is some kind of a talk about some kind of a ceasefire. As a peace activist, I'd say yes to ceasefire, even though it may be built on some fake stating.
Enough already.
Trent, can you come up? Because I know you have the real breaking news. We have Trent in the house. Everyone else, Trent is in the house. Thank you, Mojitabi.
Mojtaba or Moji.
Moji. Thank you so much for listening. You might be able to help us out. You might be able to help us out in a minute. Let me just play this for CEO. Do you run? Okay, listen to this, y'all.
I'm here.
I'm loving myself right now.
Refuses to be a victim of a nuclear holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. As Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action.
Okay, so that's one. I have like about 5 different tapes of him saying that he will never stop until he is.
He's been saying that for 40 years, for 35 years.
You're missing the context. You're missing the context. You're trying to say that something ain't right with this ceasefire. That's what we're talking about in this in the 420 tonight. That this ceasefire smells. It stinks. Something not right.
Well, my family in Iran is not going to be bombed as a result of the ceasefire. My family lives in Tehran.
Okay,
my family lives in Natanz.
Okay, so what we're saying, once again, there is something not, maybe I should use the word kosher about this ceasefire. That's what we're saying. We're doing investigative work in here right now. So we have new people on the stage, just came up. Trenty, Michael, and anybody else. I would love to go to Trenty because it seems like he has breaking news.
Before he speaks, I need to lead him in. This is TNN.
Oh, now I say something. Goddamn, Mike. Ain't nothing feel better than that.
Man, I love it.
Ain't nothing feel better than that. Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all looking beautiful. Dimina, you probably want to DM me about that Escalade if you really want it. I don't have any breaking news other than the ceasefire is in effect and Iran and Mojaba, I don't know how to say your name. Moji. Prayers to your family, my friend. But Iran was just soundly defeated. They didn't have another choice. Their entire leadership was taken out. They eliminated probably 70% of their missile launchers. Just about.
Okay, so use words. Don't try to sensationalize it.
Okay, well, 90% of their leadership was eliminated within the first day, and they were just defeated. There was no other choice for them but to settle. They needed a way out of this. They don't really have, other than terrorism, they don't really have a good exit strategy.
Israel is a terrorist nation in the Middle East. Israel has been behind terrorism. Israel created Hamas. Did you know that?
Don't disagree with you, buddy.
Right. So the narrative of a defeat helps fan the flame of the regime in Iran to say, we don't want to be defeated, therefore we're going to lob whatever remaining missiles we have at Israel, and Israel will kill my family.
Yeah, I mean, I sympathize with you.
Think about the narrative that you are supporting.
While I sympathize with you, and at some rate, my brother, I gotta call balls and strikes, right? Okay,
no, you don't need to. You don't need to by perpetuating a narrative of defeat.
Yeah, look. The Pacers.
That's a colonial genocidal victor. That's the writing of history.
Listen, the Pacers played the Thunder last night, and somebody scored more buckets, and now somebody gets the championship. What I'm telling you is, Iran didn't have
perpetuating a narrative of loss, of either lose or loss, either win or lose. That narrative is genocidal. Don't perpetuate it.
All right, you want for me, or you want to know? Y'all let me know when he's done fucking talking.
He's tired of you talking, Trent.
You're right there. You guys are having a back and forth.
I'm not going back and forth with anybody. You want to look
okay, so tell them that you can communicate well. We don't have to do that.
I am saying, as a peace activist, don't perpetuate a narrative of we won, and they lost.
Well, he got a point there.
Give peace a chance.
If I speak, because I'll be real quick. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to go back and forth with people. Here's what I'm saying. What is clear? Who's off mic? Is she again?
Hey, you're off mic. Can somebody mute Haitian? He doesn't know
he's good.
Okay.
All right. So look, and balls and strikes. Iran lost this 12-day war. Didn't have another choice but to settle. I do think they moved their nuclear weapons out of Fordo, or else we would have had radiation leaks. So I do think they moved their
weapons out of Fordo.
Hold on, Moji. Let him land.
Don't perpetuate Netanyahu Netanyahu's narrative of genocide.
I'm not talking about bullshit.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to knock him down.
Yeah, Moji, because if you can't stay off mic while other people are talking,
Relax, Mojo.
Mojo, we have to put you.
Well, he keeps saying that Iran has nuclear weapons.
He can say
Iran doesn't.
Okay, but so I'll let you tell him that he's wrong when he stops, okay?
I'm trying to be with people, and it ain't working.
Can somebody, thank you. I don't know what is going on with you guys, the mics tonight. Okay, so can you go ahead and finish up, Trent, what you were saying?
Yeah, I didn't say that they had nuclear weapons. I said they moved their enriched uranium because if they hadn't.
No, you said they used to.
You cannot stop interrupting him.
No, we put him down. We put him down. Go ahead.
You can bring him back up, and I sympathize with the guy. He's got his family there. He's from Iran. It hits him different. I'm just giving you balls and strikes. If they'd hit the uranium, there would have been some sort of leak detected by the IAEA. There was none. They covered the entrances with the dirt, and they'll be able to restart some of their program. They're probably going to be a year or so off, but they'll be able to enrich uranium once again. And figure something out. But the
what's
truth.
What's going to happen when they do that?
I don't know. But the truth.
Wait a minute. So you guys so stop being all over the place. So in other words, they're going to start up in a year. Did y'all hear that?
I didn't say they're going to. I mean, they could. Like they could. It's going to take them a year to rebuild. Just let me finish what I'm saying. The truth of the heart of the matter is Iran didn't really have a choice. Like I said, their leadership was taken out. There is a possibility that their regime, like Assad in Syria, that their regime could be overthrown. That is a real possibility for them. They really didn't have any choice but to have a ceasefire, or else their economy and everything else spirals out of control. So that's it.
So this was a big waste of time.
Yeah, there was
I'll just aside. One second. I'll just aside. I think everything he said is 100% accurate. Like, it's definitely accurate. There was nothing that was really truly accomplished here.
That's what I just said. It was a big waste of time.
So, Lisa, I know where you're going.
There is no victory.
But you got to look at it like this. Over these 33 years, Netanyahu has talked about Iran having a nuke. He hasn't attacked them every day of the 33 years, right? So he is not going to be able to engage at all for some long time period. They have to have a negotiation. He can't go to this shooting missiles at them anytime in the near future.
In other words, there is no victory. There's no strikes. Nothing happened.
The victory, the potential for victory is that you've reset the negotiation table, right? So Iran knows we're willing to do this, and so now they have to think about their program, and they're willing to negotiate differently. So it's a win if you end up getting a deal.
Iran's not negotiating. No.
We will see what Iran does over the next 60 days. I would be very surprised if there wasn't some sort of deal.
They're not. I get you. They're not spreading.
Trey, you've been speaking all tonight. You did say nuclear weapons, so he was definitely right. Then you changed it up. And now you just said in chat, Iran knows if they negotiate, they die.
I meant to say if they don't.
I know, man. You've been speaking all.
I've been drinking. If they don't negotiate,
you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
I know, right?
I'm actually walking my dog. I'm actually walking my dog outside.
He's like a Zionist.
Yeah, what? I'm not a Zionist. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Tony. I'm just giving you the truth, right? If they don't negotiate,
the truth is not barbarism. The truth is peace.
Hey, so listen, bro.
You are perpetuating barbarism.
So, what's his name?
No, truth is not a strength. Peace is the strength. Peace is the strength.
Calm down. You don't listen real quick. One second. Just talk, bro. Don't yell. We're all speaking. Just speak, bro.
And respectfully, we understand that you have family over there, so no one's saying that we want to continue the war. He's just saying what's
jungle.
Please let the moderator speak, Mo. Like, please don't speak, bro.
Listen, again, I understand you have family with you. I understand that, you know how you're feeling, right? But again, let people speak and they say your point. Educate the room.
You didn't do it without yelling at us. Just speak. We'll listen.
We know you're passionate, but you don't have to yell for us, okay? You can speak.
Okay, I'm sorry that I am, because my family may already be dead, I am angry. But I don't want to live in a jungle.
Your family is not dead. There was no civilian casualty.
How do you know if my family is not dead? I don't know it.
Hey, we'll say this in the chat. I'm not. How do you say your name so I can pronounce your name correctly?
Moshtaba or Muji. Muji is fine.
Is Moshtaba accurate?
Yeah, Moshtaba is fine.
Okay, Moshtaba, like, we definitely hope that is not the case with your family, and we'll keep them in our prayers. We are not wishing
But
death
people
upon
in
anybody
Gaza
over there.
have been genocided. The Native Americans have been genocided. African Americans were enslaved.
No, we understand. That's
This
why
is the same barbarism.
we don't want that. We don't want. What
This
I'm
is the
trying to tell
same
you is we don't.
barbarism in the name of civilization.
Said we don't want that, but we're trying to have a discussion, and maybe you can give us some insight that we don't have because you have family over there. But when you yell and stuff like that, it kind of takes away from your point.
I'm sorry if I am being truthful.
No, we don't mind the truth. We want to hear your truth. We want to hear it. We're just trying to hear it.
We can't hold a definitely got it though. That little Trent dude, he's being a dickhead about they got smashed, they got liberated, they got this. And y'all trying to pass over that.
Tony, you know that's not Trent is. He pisses us the fuck off. That's what Trent does.
Unfortunately, I like Trent. I do.
Yeah, but I mean, we're picking and choosing on favoritism now. Favoritism when choosing their words and shit like that.
I didn't hear what he said, honestly, but so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can read the chat.
Look, the thing is, Trump's not saying that out loud.
Okay, hold on.
You're not ran. This is somebody who experienced it.
Hold on. Okay, there's raised tensions. If Trent says something the other man doesn't like, that's fine. Tony, we're not trying to take sides here. I know people think we do 24/7, but Trent has to speak, he has to speak. Infinity has to speak, other people have to speak. And we all do have to learn how to listen, myself included. And so we're trying now. Yes, what he said, I'm not going to say that. What he said was insensitive.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's going to be Trent, and Trent can do what he wants to do about it. But let Moji...
Dave, don't ever talk about weapons ever again.
Who is that?
Who the fuck is Dave?
He's some other dude in the chat, because Dave in the chat said as long as...
Oh, yeah, keep that shit in the chat.
Keep the chat in the chat.
Keep that in the chat. The mods are the one that bring the chat on stage, not you. Don't...
Is it Tuesday or something?
Okay, so who was speaking prior? Like, I think it was Mustaba. Like, do you want to go ahead and continue your share?
Yeah, basically what I'm saying is that we create the reality that we take for granted as being real. So when we say reality is that the victors have, over the history of civilization or barbarism, victors have written most of the narrative of history, which means that the more barbaric might makes right. Let's put it that way. That's how the history has been written. The history of oppression of women, history of racism, history of colonialism, history of genocide of the Native Americans, history of Islamophobia, history of real anti-Semitism in Europe, and every other form of barbarism. It has been written by people who believe that the only way to survive in this jungle of the world is to be savage. I am a peace activist. I'm a real civilized person. I'm a Sufi monk. I'm a dervish. So I don't want to buy into that barbarism narrative. I want a different history to be written.
Yeah, so
Therefore, when somebody says that the regime in Iran, of which I am no fan of, has lost, the regime says, "Oh, we don't want to be, losers." Therefore, they will then provoke Netanyahu to continue the genocide.
yeah, but there's always going to be, regardless, there's always going to be opinion in any type of conflict or war of winner and loser, right? That's just how it is.
I don't understand what I'm saying is that your opinion makes history.
Finish. Okay? So, yes, I don't want the narrative of winners and losers in war. I've been to war. And if you've been in war...
Veterans for Peace in Iran, I'm a founder of the peace-seeking Iranian veterans.
That's good. So you should understand that.
But you also, like, to be fair, right? And you heard me in regards to your family overseas. You heard my response. So take that into context. I'm not trying to be negative or an antagonist at any level. But you have to admit that there's of the Iranian government and their officials that are screaming death to the U.S. and saying how they would love to have
They've been doing it because they want to. The reason for the so-called death for the U.S. is as a result of the coup in 1953. The coup in 1953, which was done at the behest of oil companies with the help of the
But we weren't even alive then.
I don't want to. The people in the U.S. do not have any right to dictate their fascistic culture onto the rest of the world.
There you go, baby.
Fascistic culture.
Keep going. Tell them about the coup. Tell them about the
Mustaba, but look at it from a current...
Who caused the revolution in 1979?
Mustaba, you're probably historically accurate, and I'm not going to argue. Give me 1 second, Trent. I'm not going to argue those facts. I will concede to you being factually accurate about 1953. How about that, right? So that we don't have a point of contention. What I'm saying is, if you look at the way it appears now, when people right now that had nothing to do with that at that point, are hearing
No. Hold on now. Let this man speak, because what he's trying to tell you is the United States is also responsible for 1 million deaths of Iranians when we armed Saddam Hussein against his people and killed 1 million of them. Is that not right, Mo?
Absolutely. It is barbarism that is responsible. Barbarism pretends to be American, pretends to be Israeli, pretends Modi in India is perpetuating the Zionist narrative of Hindutva. Kill Muslims. Barbarism dresses as religion. Barbarism in the name of Christianity in this country. Called evangelical Christianity.
See, we agree. And let me help you on one thing, my brother. What these people refuse, some of these people, not all of them, what they refuse to understand, it is the United States that supported the Shah, who was basically a brutal dictator, who was murdering your people in Iran, and we kept him in place for oil until others, the regime now overthrew him, right? That's correct. And then we turned and we armed Saddam Hussein in the 80s and had them perpetuate a war which killed 1 million Iranians. And then when Saddam, after the war was over and our politics changed a bit, we claimed that he had weapons of mass destruction and then invaded Iraq under false pretenses because we didn't like what he was doing. That's what really happened. So, Mo, I completely agree with you on this, and this is what I'm going to land on. The other thing that we should, and what I will not say is militarily we won Iraq, militarily we won Afghanistan, we lost the hearts and minds. But that's what happens when you have a nation that is willing to spend $950 billion a year arming its defense with its stealth technology and its badass aircraft carriers and its satellites and its missiles, but refuses to take care of its people and its healthcare and its structure, and it's cutting its education. So what we saw the other day with the stealth bombers was a masterful display of military might, the pinnacle of military power, possibly in the history of the world.
It was a masterful. Hey, brother, what? It was a masterful. It was a masterful. Wait. It was a masterful display of barbarism.
I know, I'm with you.
Call it barbarism.
Yes.
Don't glorify it.
It was a masterful display, only rivaled by the Roman legions and Genghis Khan. America is about all
right.
power.
Call it the way it is. Don't say military wonderful. Don't glorify barbarism.
Whatever. The people here that pay taxes and we support this 950 billion monstrosity, that's $37 trillion in debt. We made it ask ourselves why, if we don't support war, why we pay taxes for such things. You guys have a good.
Thank you. The last part of what you said, Brother Trent, is what Bernie has been saying. I am a supporter of Bernie Sanders. But the culture of might makes right. The culture of barbarism is destroying Mother Earth. We are losing 3 species per hour.
Breaking news. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now, but Iran rejects Trump's ceasefire claim. Falsehood of truce will be shown in coming hours. This is coming off of CNN News 18. It's way too long. I'm trying to rewind it to that.
Where's
This is coming off of CNN News 18. It's streaming live now on YouTube, and I'm trying to rewind it so I can get to because it's a live stream, so I don't know if I missed them talking about it, but that's the headline. So
you're absolutely right. CNN is saying Iran rejected direct negotiations with the U.S., not even the peace treaty. They rejected even having negotiations at all.
Direct negotiation is different. Direct negotiation is different than.
Moji, I had to mute you up, Moji. You gotta stop hogging the mic. Let Lisa talk.
No, I mean, Moji, we get you, babe, and I appreciate you being here 100%, but you gotta all let us participate and not cut us off.
But let me say one sentence and I'll stop.
Okay.
Look, there is a difference between the Zionist propaganda wants to perpetuate Iranians as barbaric, dehumanize. So there is a difference between Iran's foreign minister saying that we don't negotiate directly with the U.S. That's one thing. The other one is a tacit agreement to some kind of a ceasefire. There are 2 different things. But the Zionist media perpetuates the narrative of savagery in order to keep the flames of war going.
One second. It says Arachi emphasized that direct talks with the U.S. are off the table for now. The condition is explicit. Dialogue only after Israeli strikes stop.
Right, that's what I'm getting on this one too. And they're trading shots right now, because I played it for you guys of somebody who was actually there looking at it, and then they have live feed of it happening. If you go to YouTube and you want to watch these live feeds.
Yeah.
So, don't you know anything about bombing your way to peace?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, they're saying you can't keep slapping me in my face and saying I don't want to fight.
No, you gotta sit there and take it, Gemini, and then we'll talk about it.
After you keep slapping me for 2 hours and I don't take it, then it's a ceasefire?
Then it's a ceasefire.
Okay.
It's really to agree to a ceasefire, and they have 6-hour head start where you can't do anything. That's the affiliate agreement. That makes no sense.
I just want to let Lisa, if you're done, August has been asking the chat if he could get it.
Right before he does, one second, right before he does, I guess we can safely say that the manifestation failed drastically.
Incorrect. So, did you notice the language that's being used when it said we're not negotiating? Who did it say we're not negotiating with? Who did it say? Which country?
U.S.
Okay. Now, who was doing the talks with Iran about this ceasefire? Correct. So, What Iran is trying to do is make sure that, like, oh, we're not just doing what the U.S. wants. Remember we talked about narrative control? This is part of that right now. You're witnessing it real time.
But Trump become back to
Mark my words. By the time we get to tomorrow, we'll hear that it's a
CEO, if you let me finish, CEO, if you let me finish, I was going to read this portion, which is going to be relevant and support what you're saying. It says they remain open to diplomacy via European intermediaries, but U.S.-Iran dialogue is paused under current circumstances. So there you go.
So, see, y'all want to jump and make something.
Why do you worry if we jump?
And don't say y'all.
Why?
I literally just gave you data that supported what you said.
Yeah, no, not you, Gemini. Not you. I'm just saying that, like, it's just so weird. It's like,
yeah, but did Trump not say that did Trump not the one that's blasted everywhere that he that he made the ceasefire?
Narrative.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Narrative. Good grief. Like, what is y'all not understanding? Yes. It's not reality. It's narrative.
You didn't know the narrative.
It's to achieve an outcome.
Lisa just mentioned this.
Literally, it's been saying for
making a statement
that Qatar.
Trump making a statement.
It's even in the Reuters thing or whatever. There was multiple things that said like Iran and Qatar. Okay, so like,
why is Trump? If you let me, I will translate. Look, guys, if you let me, I will translate for you what BBC Persian has. It's a live coverage.
Go ahead, please do.
BBC Persian.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And then obviously.
Let me see how many minutes ago this was. 3 minutes ago. Abbas Araghchi, Iran's foreign minister, said in a post in X, in whatever, the Twitter, he thanked the armed forces of the country and says the military operations of our powerful armed forces to punish, to bring some justice to Israel because of its its violation of Iran till the last minute. It continued our military operations till 4 a.m. Tehran time. At the same time, according to the eyewitness people in Iran, as they told to BBC Persian, from about 4 a.m. in Tehran, there is no sound. The sound of explosions and anti-aircraft has been cut in the city, and there is no sound of conflict. That's live on BBC Persian as of 3 minutes ago.
Okay, now listen. I want y'all to realize.
That's good for my family.
Can you tell us what it means? I just want to get going. So you said like a lot. Can you just give us what that means? Can you tell us what that means?
Basically, what Iran's foreign minister is saying is that we have stopped attacking Israel, and Israel has stopped attacking Iran.
Okay, so now do you all have a reaction to this?
He said that very clearly. He said they don't hear the sound of airplanes dropping bombs anymore right now.
Okay, but I just wanted to be safe.
There is no sound.
That means that there has to be some truth to what Trump said, but it's not being broken.
Oh, it can't be true. Trump said it. It can't be true. It's not. It's just ridiculous.
Can I finish what
Do you think this may have something to do with the Gaza Strip? I'm just asking, because I'm looking at where we're at and what they're bombing, because United States is so far and we owe so much ocean that it's hard for people to launch military. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say, and then I'm out. I'm listening to everything because this is really interesting. But
what makes it so hard for other countries to bomb United States is because of our location, one, and then how far it is. It's hard for them to set ships into the ocean. In order to shoot bombs, you have to launch them from ships in the ocean.
You don't shoot bombs.
They have messages.
Well, whatever you do, if anybody want to take off from there, we good. I can just, that was a good, just like a feed, and then somebody else might want to pick up and take off from there, if you understood what I was saying.
Go ahead, August.
One other line about Dr. Arachi and what he said, which maybe you may be seeing is translation or mistranslation in the mass media in this country. He said there is no negotiated agreement at this point either about a ceasefire or about an agreement with the United States at this point. It means at this point there is only a